Okay, imagine this. You're facing a real crisis, you grab your phone to call for help, and you get, well, nothing. Dead air.
It's terrifying to even think about.
Right. And that's apparently the reality for some folks in Boca Raton's Hidden Valley neighborhood.
Mm.
But at the same time, just down the road, city leaders are talking up this huge billion-dollar downtown transformation.
Yeah.
So today on the Deep Dive, we're really digging into that contrast. We're using your sources, city updates, petitions from groups like Save Boca, reports from Boca Magazine, the Coastal Star, to see how a city tries to balance these grand visions with really immediate life or death safety needs.
It's quite the balancing act.
Absolutely. Our mission here is to unpack these clashing priorities and see what really stands out when you put all these sources together.
And it is, like you said, a classic city dilemma, isn't it? What jumps out right away is this basic idea that the big, tangible, long-term money promises from development.
Yeah, the shiny projects.
Exactly. They often seem to, maybe accidentally, push aside the less visible but super immediate human stuff. Basic infrastructure.
Reliable 911 calls.
Precisely. The sources we're looking at really highlight this disconnect with how serious the safety gap is in Hidden Valley. Residents there reporting dropped 911 calls daily, even dropped calls to basic service lines like 611.
Wow, daily.
Yeah. And this isn't presented as some kind of luxury, right? Reliable emergency communication, that's described as a basic fundamental public service.
Totally fundamental. And what makes it even more worrying, as the reports point out, this isn't just, a local annoyance. It's flagged as a national public safety risk.
Mm-hmm.
The FCC itself warns that wireless 911 calls might just not connect if the network's weak.
Mm-hmm.
And there's data from Europe suggesting calls can fail within the first 2 minutes, the most critical time.
It's a scary thought, a truly terrifying reality for people experiencing it.
So, okay, with these immediate dangers right there in the reports, how did the city's bigger, longer-term plans, like the downtown redevelopment, stack up against this urgent safety issue based on what we've read?
Well, it's a really stark contrast. While you have Hidden Valley residents dealing with these failed calls every day, Mayor Scott Singer's focus, as presented, is squarely on what's being called the downtown campus opportunity.
Opportunity. Yeah, that word is used a lot in the city updates.
It is, and this is a huge plan, redeveloping 30 acres downtown, the government campus area, plus Memorial Park. They're partnering with Terra Frisbee.
And the descriptions, they sound pretty impressive, right?
Yep.
A new community center, upgraded city buildings, all sorts of mixed-use spaces, cafes, shops, offices, housing, plus more green space. It paints quite a picture.
Definitely paints a picture. And the financial side sounds grand, too. CBRE projects billions in benefits over a 99-year lease.
Billions. And the mayor's quoted saying this investment could help stop future tax increases and keep our cost of living in check. They also frame it as the least dense option they looked at.
Yeah. Well, the critics, they paint a very different picture. Groups like Save Boca are calling it less an opportunity and more a public land giveaway.
Giveaway language, strong words.
Yeah, they point to handing over 31 acres of public land for private development.
And it's not just that one group, is it? Independent reports in Boca Magazine and the Coastal Star seem to echo some of those worries. They talk about potential high-rises, offices, maybe a hotel.
Right, and the displacement issue comes up too, losing existing things like tennis courts, ball fields, the skate park.
Even the downtown police station has to move.
Apparently so, and taxpayers might even be on the hook for renting temporary office space while all this construction happens.
And that Save Boca petition has thousands of signatures demanding a public vote on big land deals like this, right?
Exactly. Now here's where the priorities clash really visibly. The sources point out over 30 public meetings held about the downtown redevelopment.
30 meetings. Okay.
But not one, according to these reports, has focused on the dropped 911 calls in Hidden Valley.
Wow. That detail really stands out. So the focus is on the long-term, maybe speculative revenue, the grand vision, while residents are dealing with immediate basic safety. Can they even call for help?
It seems to be the core tension.
Boca Raton's own strategic plan talks about community safety, but this pretty fundamental problem in Hidden Valley is just lingering. Makes you wonder what gets attention and why.
Precisely. And the critics, looking at these sources, they're suggesting some clear changes. First up, fix the cell gap. Ensure reliable 911 access before sinking tons of staff time into billion-dollar deals.
It was logical. Address the immediate fire first.
They also suggest holding public meetings specifically about safety infrastructure. If you can have 30 meetings on development, surely you can have some on emergency access.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It really boils down to balancing priorities, doesn't it? The argument being that a shiny downtown project means nothing if residents cannot reach help in an emergency.
Absolutely. And crucially, they're pushing for residents to have the final say. Put major land transfers, big redevelopment projects, put them to a public vote. That's what the Save Boca petition demands.
So, stepping back, what does all this mean for you listening? I think this deep dive really shows that core tension, that pull between a city's big dreams of opportunity and, well, the absolute basic need for public safety.
Mm-hmm. It definitely raises a big question, not just for Boca Raton, but for any community.
Right. In a world that loves grand development plans and talks about projected billions, how do communities make sure that essential safety needs aren't just, noted down somewhere, but are actually prioritized, really addressed, first and foremost?
Something to think about as you look at what's happening in your own town or city.